Ooh. All right, so that was simplifying regular square roots, which you already know how to do. Let's go into now simplifying a non-square root. So we'll start with a cube root. We're going to simplify the cube root of negative 81. So I can tell it's a cube root because it's got this little number right here. The square root didn't have a number at all. That's how you know it's a square root. If you really wanted to, you could write a 2 on it. But for the cube root, we're going to do the same thing. We're always going to use this kind of prime factor method. So since it's a negative 81, first of all, I'm going to split off the negative 1 because that is going to be something a little bit different here in just a second. To make 81, maybe you'd have 9 and 9, and each 9 is 3 and 3. So that's exactly the same as the square root. The only difference with a cube root is instead of looking for pairs of numbers, now I'm looking for groups of 3. So I have 3 3s, I have a 3, and I have a negative 1 left over. So I can rewrite this as the cube root of negative 1 times the cube root of 3, for this 3 that was left over. I can pull out 1 3 for this group of 3's here. So it doesn't have a cube root anymore. Whenever I circled a group, I don't have to leave the cube root. Now you can type this in your calculator if you want to prove it to yourself, but the cube root of negative 1 actually is negative 1. So now I have a negative on the outside, I have a 3, and I have a cube root of 3. So if it was a square root, then you'd be getting that I, right, that imaginary answer, but for a cube root, the cube root of negative